back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Rye, and this is Rye's Reading Corner. Today, I'm going over what I'm reading for the Pop Culture Read-a-thon, which is focused just on the 90s. Disclaimer, I'm not wearing the same outfit days in a row. I am going on vacation, and I am pre-recording my videos, and I just want to be in comfy clothes, and I didn't want to change my clothes, so I'm not gross. I'm not wearing the same clothes. But yeah, disclaimer alert to everybody. So I did have this idea to wear like this cute 90s inspired outfit. Went to the store looking for something and everything's really sold out and it just failed. So then I was like, I'm just gonna wear comfy clothes and just pre-record videos all the same outfit. So whatever. But back while you guys are here, so I am participating in the Pop Culture 90s Read-a-thon. When I saw this last month, I knew I had to participate because I am a 90s child. I was born in 1992, and I'm so excited. It takes place from July 1st to the end of the month, which I believe is July 30th, 31st? Don't judge. Read-a-thon is created by Lit With Me, which she is on Twitter, and her name is Whitney, and I just want to shout out to her for making this incredible read-a-thon, and I will post all of her information below. So this read-a-thon is based on 90s movies, and it's broken down into 4 different bingo cards. So we have the kids, like family inspired one, we have the teen dream, we have the thriller, and the adult. So you can approach these bingo cards however way you want to. Being an overachiever, I am going for a bingo on the thriller card, on the teen dream card, and on the family oriented one. I do have books picked for the adult card, however, though that's not a priority, but I'm definitely aiming for these 3. So let's start with our teen dream. So I'm going for a bingo in this direction. And the first prompt for this, and I do have my notebook because I don't have these memorized. So my first prompt is, but I am a cheerleader, and that was the prompt from the 90s movie, and it's read a book with a sapphic romance. So this worked out perfect because I'm participating in a book club, and the read for the month is Stars and Blackness Between Them by Judah. I do not want to try and her name. I don't want to butcher it. But I'm super excited. I've heard a lot of good things. It is a Coretta Scott King Award, which is a great prestigious honor to win. And it works for both because, again, I had to read this already this month, and I was able to do it for this prompt. So I'm super excited. All right, my next prompt for this bingo is Kate Stafford, which is read a book with a sarcastic character. So this is a book that I had just started at the end of June, but I've pretty much been reading it nonstop since it hits July 1st, and that's Girls of Paper and Fire. I'm super late to this game, but I am loving this book. This is actually a group read that I'm doing, so it's just perfect timing. She's definitely sarcastic, she's feisty, and I think this is a great prompt for this book, so I'm super excited. So prompt 2, check. All right. The next prompt is Drive Me Crazy, a book with a fake trope dating. So I'm I'm making this more difficult for myself because I really want to read Take a Hint, Danny Brown. I've heard so many amazing things about this. Everyone's giving it like 5 stars. But before I read this, I want to read Get a Life, Chloe Brown, because Danny Brown is Chloe's brown sister, and this is the first one in the series. So I am going to read this one to count as my prompt. But I am again going overboard and being an overachiever and going to read this one first and then actually read the one that's for the prompt. So really I have 5 books for this bingo card, not 4. All I know so far is that she is an English, I believe, professor, which is amazing. I went to for English for college. She is a bisexual witch, which that's much more do you need to know, okay? So super excited to read this one, but I will be reading Get a Life, Chloe Brown first before I read that one. And the last prompt for this spot on my bingo card is Diane Davenport, Have Your Best Friend Pick a Book. So I had my husband do this, and I numbered books 1 through 10, and I had him just give me a random number, and he picked 3, which means I'm going to be reading Broken Things by Lauren Oliver. And this book I'm super excited about, and it's about a group of friends, and I know they're really excited or into this like fantasy world, and I know there's like a murder, and then there's a cross between some magic, I think, and realism, and I'm super excited. And this also will work with another read-a-thon I'm doing, Becca's Bookopoly, which I'll post below, and it was like magical realism. So I'm gonna wait to read this one until later in July, but I'm really excited, and I believe it's a signed copy that I got. Bonus. So, really excited. So that is my Teen Dream bingo card. So next we're going to move on to my family kid oriented bingo card. So the next bingo card, the official name is The Family Affair. And so this is like the family oriented movie, references to like one of my favorite all-time movies, The Parent Trap. So for this bingo card, I'm going this way on the bingo card. And the first prompt that, again, I haven't written down because I'm not going to remember which ones is reference to the movie Matilda, which I need to read a middle grade. So I was kind of embarrassed that I didn't know what middle grade to read because I teach 8th grade. But a lot of my 8th graders at that point are reading more of like high school level books because you always tend to read older. So when you're kind of in that age. But I did get some recommendations on Twitter, and I am going to read Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow. I've heard great things about this. I don't know like full details, but I know people really like it. I got it at Target, and it was on sale for like $4.99, which this is part of the cover, and I absolutely hate it because this is a cute cover, and there's this ugly yellow circle right on there, so it kind of makes me sad. But it is kind of a chunker for a middle grade, but obviously it is middle grade, so it'll go by fast. So I will be reading that for my first prompt for Matilda. My second prompt is inspired by the movie The Parent Trap, which read a book with 2 authors. So this book has been on my TBR shelf for a really long time, and I don't know why I've never read it. And it is a totally awkward love story. And it's obviously about a love story between 2 people. One's name's Hannah and one name is Sam. And they were, I believe they knew each other, then they were separated, then they come back together. So it must be a cute little love story. I picked this one too because it is shorter. And because I'm reading a lot of books this month, I am participating in other read-a-thons as well. I wanted just a quick read. So I will be reading this. It is by Tom Allen and Lucy Iveson. I've honestly never read a book by 2 authors, so this will be a really interesting to me and a first-time experience. So I'm excited to see how the 2 meld their different styles together to create a book together. All right, the third prompt, Little Rascals. Read a book that's less than 200 pages. So for this one, I'm going to read Stephen King, The Mist. It's one of his short stories. It talks about that there's a thunderstorm and they're swept into a living nightmare of unnatural and violent forces, and concealed by the mist begin to emerge, wreaking havoc in their wake. I don't know much about it. I saw it at Target the other day. I needed a 200 pages less. I didn't have any actually in my TBR of 70 books. And I picked this one. Again, super annoying sticker I'm trying to try to get off. But the cover kind of caught my eye on this one, and it looks super interesting, and I'm excited to read this one. All right, last prompt for this bingo card is Addams Family, and I need to pick a thriller with domestic components to it. So this is a book that I've had a long time, and it's for better and worse, or worse. No, for better and worse. And it sounds like 2 people start dating in law school and they get bonded over if they could actually get away with murder. And I think it sounds like maybe they actually do, but they're also involved in the law. I don't know. Sounds really interesting, but it definitely, I mean, if you're interested in murder, married, and lawyers, it's gonna get real weird real fast. So this is something I am excited to read. It is about 300 pages, so not bad. I've had this for a really long time. I just don't know why I've ever read it, but it sounds really interesting. So this will be the last book on the prompts for this bingo. The next bingo board that I am 100% doing is the thriller movie one, which I'm super excited because thriller is one of my favorite genres, and the board that I'm doing is this one for my row of 4. I would really like to do all of the thriller ones, but that would be, I think, pushing, unless I can double up on some of the other books that I'm reading this month. But for the first prompt is a book that is just a bunch of Hocus-Pocus, which is my all-time favorite movie is Hocus-Pocus. I love Halloween, and I needed to pick a book that has magic in it, and this couldn't be more perfect. I started this maybe at the beginning of June, but it got pushed aside because it didn't fit any of my TBR prompts for some readathons I was doing. Sorry, my notebook's driving crazy. And I am reading Hocus-Pocus. So this is the Hocus-Pocus original movie, and it's really cool to read about how they portray certain things with, because you know you can't just see it, they have to describe it. So I think it's really cool. And it also has the sequel in here. I don't believe I'm going to probably get to the sequel. I would like to, but I'm 100% reading Hocus Pocus, the original. So this, I mean, obviously this prompt was inspired by the movie Hocus Pocus, so this couldn't get a better fit for my first prompt for my thriller bingo card. So the second prompt for this card is Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board, a book with a creepy or haunted feel. So I'm going to finally read Riley Sager's Home Before Dark. So this is kind of like that haunted house feel from what I'm hearing about. And for most of the book, you don't know if it's paranormal or if it's someone kind of playing the tricks on it. I've heard a lot of people giving this 4 or 5 stars. I also do know it's one of the chunkier books by Riley Sager, but I'm okay with it because I find that I read thrillers really fast, and I'm excited. I don't know too much about it. I just know that it's about someone, wrote a book about this haunted house, and the dad passes away, and then the daughter goes back. I don't like knowing a lot going into thrillers, so I'm going to keep it very vague on what I know going in, just so I am surprised and shocked. So this is the second book I'll be reading for this prompt. The third prompt that is for this one is Candyman, a book with supernatural characters. So I'm going to be reading A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, and I would assume this is very supernatural character-ish, so how perfect does that fit for this category? I saw this on Kayla Books with Lala's, and she seemed really interested in it, and it's won 2 awards, so you can't, defeat that. And it is a short read, which I'm happy about because I am reading a lot of books this month, and also I'm able to use it for another read-a-thon that I'm participating in, which I will be dropping the TBR for that at another time. But I'm super excited. All right, the last prompt for my thriller bingo card is Scream 2, a book in your second favorite genre. So my favorite genre is YA in general. My second is thrillers, but I am going to read this one. So this one is Darling Rose in Gold. This cover is absolutely gorgeous, and I had seen this being talked about before on BookTube, and then when I saw this in the store, I knew I had to get it. So it's about a girl, Rose, who thought there was something wrong with her for years and years. Her mom had her get all these testing done in town. They would have her get all of these what's the word I'm looking for? All these tests and fundraisers, and there was really nothing wrong with her, and then she ends up killing her, and everything, and then the mom ends up going in jail, and then after she's released, she goes begging back to the daughter to come take her back in, and that she wants to make things better, but obviously the daughter's not going to be so fond of that. So I was really excited about this because it reminded me of the story Gypsy Rose, and that was about that was a true story, and it was a documentary or a movie they turned it into on Hulu, and I liked that. It was super interesting and crazy, and this is what it reminded me of. So I'm excited to read this. I feel like this is going to be a really quick read. It's not that long, and some of my favorite authors have made comments on this, and so yeah, so I'm really excited to hear about that. Right on the front is Lisa Jewell, and Lisa Jewell is one of my favorite thriller authors, so I knew I had to pick it up. So those are the 4 books that I plan on reading for my thriller card, and yeah, I'm super excited. So the final possible table that I could do, or bingo card, is called the adult table, and these are all inspired by 90s adult movies, and this card, I originally was going to say it was optional. If I got to it, I got to it, but as I was picking these books, I'm super excited to read them, so I think I'm going to do it. So the angle that I'm going on my bingo board is over here. So my first prompt for this one is read a book that is written in prose, and it's by from Poetic Justice. And this actually worked out perfect because for my TBR bingo game on how I pick my books for July, which I will post below that video, I am reading Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. And this is all in verse, so I'm already have to read this month, or I will get a punishment and have to add more books to my TBR for August. So I'm already going to read it, so it already makes sense to just do this bingo board. But I'm super excited about this book. It's about 2 sisters that don't know their sisters until their father passes away, and they get to meet each other. And it's obviously more complex than that, but I've heard amazing things from this book, and I'm super excited to read this. The second prompt for this one is The First Wife's Club, and this is to read a book from my favorite genre. And like I said, my favorite genre is YA as well as thrillers. And it's my second, very close tied. So I'm going to pull them in together, and I'm going to read I Killed Zoe Spanos by Kit Frick, and it's about a girl that goes missing, and then this other girl shows up in a town, and she looks just like the girl that's missing. Sounds really weird, but the cover of this is beautiful. So I love all the blue, and then I saw the blue sprayed edges. I just picked this up at Barnes & Noble, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love sprayed edge books. And the inside is this really pretty light blue with this white as well. Gorgeous, gorgeous book, which could have fit for the next prompt, but I'm going to save this one for my favorite genre. So I'm excited to read this one. This is a new release. So the next prompt is Pretty Woman is the movie, and it's a book with a gorgeous cover. So I'm going to read the Gracier. So I think this pretty cover is so pretty. It's pink with this beautiful like white flower in the background, and this girl has like a red ribbon that kind of turns into blood, which is really creepy, and I can use it for another read-a-thon, which is awesome. And the inside cover is beautiful. It has this embossed flower in the front, and it has like rose gold on the sides, and then the inside is all of these really pretty flowers. So this book's about, I don't really know, but I've heard things about it, but from what I've read, it's about this, in this town or this country or county, they are banished their 16th year to release their magic into the wild so they can return purified and ready for marriage. And it sounds really complicated, and they have to be afraid of these people that try to kidnap them and sell them on the black market when they try to leave that 16th year. Sounds really crazy, but I'm really excited to read this. And yeah, I hope this is a YA. I guess I really didn't look. I think it is. If it's not, I'll post it here and rechange this one and write what I wrote. But I'm like 99% sure this is YA. Should have checked. All right, the last prompt is The Black American Princess, and I need a book with royalty, and this was an easy decision for me. I am rereading a series, and I'm also using this for another read-a-thon. So again, I can try to do as much as I can of crossing, and I'm reading The One by Kira Cass. This is obviously royalty. Prince Maxon is looking for is his princess. Eventually they will come king and queen, and his parents are king and queen. So yeah, so this is the last, okay, so like it is a 6-book series, but I only really consider the first 3 like the same type of series because that's the only good 3 books of this series. But yes, I will be reading The One for this last prompt. So 4 bingo bards, 4 books each, that's 16 books, and this is just one of the readathons I'm participating in. Like I said, I have crossed some books with some other readathons as well as my TBR bingo, but I'm really excited for this readathon. If you can't tell about how enthusiastic I am about this, but again, July 1st till the end of the month, check it out. You should definitely participate. You obviously don't have to do as much as I can, or I am, and you can focus on one bingo board. You can do like 1 prompt from each board. Totally up to you. But if you would like to follow me in my journey on BookTube, since I am more on the news side, as well as see my vlogging experience during this readathon, subscribe. Also press the alert button so you know when I go post videos. As well, if you like this video, please press the thumbs up button. So, I've had a lot of fun doing this. If you're participating, let me know. Let me know if you've read any of these books, if you like any of them, or if you are participating, what are you doing for the readathon? And yeah, so I will see you later. Stay kind, and bye.